From Citizen TV, this is Friday Night with Lilian Muli.
A very good evening to you. It's so great to have you with us on Friday night. I'm Lilian Muli.
And my name is Emmanuel Ndungu. I'll be taking you through the sports news a little bit later on. We've got plenty of action in motorsports and also freestyle football, which some of you might find very interesting.
That's right. And we'll be getting the latest on the just concluded by-elections, just getting a feel of days after the reactions over that. All that and much more coming up right here on Friday night. Let's take a look at stories making headlines tonight.
Muliona uchaguzi mdogo jana. Muliona vile tuliwaosha. Muliona vile tuliwaosha. Ni kweli ama si kweli?
All bragging rights. President Ruto beats his chest over by-election victories and puts opposition on notice.
2027 nakishia Kenya kwamba wajitokeze na wapige kura and the vote will matter. Na sisi tutaweka maana tumeona vile wamefanya sasa hivi. Mambo ya wanahonga pesa kwa watu kwa njia.
If that is why there was all that drama here in Western. Yes, 2027 will come, but let them be informed that Kenya is not Tanzania.
It was a sham. Section of opposition leaders decry use of government machinery during by-elections. Battle of Mbeere North. Former Deputy President Gachagua suffers defeat in fast-scheduled duel with former boss President Ruto.
Kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, mimi nataka siku ya madaraka. Siku gani? 2027 siku ya madaraka tarehe 1 mwezi wa 6. Mimi nakuja kufungua hii barabara ikiwa imekamilika.
Launch of construction. President Ruto launches dueling of Rironi Mau Summit Road. Good evening. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Liz Otieno, and Friday night starts now. President William Ruto led United Democratic Alliance celebrations during which he proclaimed that the outcome of the recently concluded by-elections is a testament that the broad-based formation is a formidable force which will replicate the results of the mini polls come the 2027 general election. This as the party announced that it will take disciplinary action against members of the party, including Kakamega Governor Boni Halwale, for campaigning for rival candidates during the just concluded by-elections. Seth Olale with the by-election reactions.
Just hours after the official conclusion of Thursday's parliamentary and ward by-elections, President William Ruto wasted no time in celebrating his party's triumph against his nemesis, former Deputy Rigathi Gachagua.
Muliona uchaguzi mdogo jana. Muliona vile tuliwaosha. Muliona vile tuliwaosha. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Mheshimiwa Rais.
Speaking at different stopovers while launching the 175 kilometers Rironi-Nakuru Mau Summit dual carriage highway and upgrading of the 58-kilometer Rironi-Mai Mahiu Naivasha road, the UDA party leader took a swipe at the united opposition, saying their approach and tactics failed.
Na niliwaambia wasipowacha hiyo siasa ya ukabila watachelewa. Wamechelewa, hawajachelewa.
Mimi nasema. The head of state warning the opposition that voters had issued them with a stern warning to desist from propagating divisive politics or face the same fate come the 2027 general polls.
Nyinyi mnanielewa bwana? Sasa nishawaambia hawa jamaa wakiendelea na hii tutawazamisha asubuhi na mapema. Hao watu watatembea wakitembea.
President Ruto extending his appreciation to his supporters for delivering victory.
Wale wapigaji kura wa Banifsa, wale wapigaji kura wa kule Malava, mimi nawaambia asante sana.
The UDA celebrations extended to Kakamega, where David Ndakwa trounced DAPK's Seth Panako in the hotly contested Malava by-election.
Ni Mungu ndiye aliamua uchaguzi wako. Wewe ukawa number 1, yule akawa number 2. Usijali. Kuna msemo inasema asiyekubali kushindwa sio nini? Sio mshindani.
But even as the party celebrated its victory in the mini contest, Secretary General Hassan Omar put on notice members who he accuses of betrayal for campaigning for rival candidates during the by-election campaigns.
So, if they are very brave, Halwale, Seki, the elections coming up again.
UDA also won in Banisa and carried the Baringo Senate seat. Seth Olale, Citizen TV.
Just a recap on that story, that's Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale, not as earlier mentioned. It was not just a parliamentary by-election, it was a contest for the control of the soul of the vote-rich Mount Kenya region. President William Ruto's UDA win in Barren North parliamentary by-election, where he faced off with his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua, may have opened a new political chapter in Mount Kenya politics in the run-up to the 2027 general election. And as Emmanuel Tor now reports, Barren North MP-elect Leo Wamuthende hit the ground running today with a series of events to celebrate his victory after he was declared winner in a tightly contested race.
Wewe Goliathi, wewe Goliathi, wewe Goliathi, umetisha watu siku mingi, umetesa watu siku mingi, siku zako zimehesabika.
It was billed as a do or die contest from the word go.
Wewe Goliathi, wewe ni one term MP. Wewe Goliathi ni one term MP. Na uachane na mimi, ukiendelea kunitusi, wewe mzee, wewe nitakuvua nguo.
Sasa pesa ya Kasongo watu wamekula, Kasongo amenyolewa. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe.
Wacha nione kula ya Wamuthende.
Both the current Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, and his predecessor, Rigathi Gachagua, trading barbs, with each laying claim to the Mbeere North parliamentary seat, and indeed the Mount Kenya region.
Fire, see fire. Fire, see fire.
Kindiki representing his boss, President William Ruto, in the grueling contest. The high-stakes election marred by violence, forcing police officers to fire live rounds and tear gas to disperse goons who wanted to interfere with the vote-tallying process. The contest roping in Democratic Party leader Justin Muturi in a neck-to-neck race with his candidate Newton Kariuki alias Karish and Leo Wamuthende of UDA.
If people in Mbeere North are parents, if young people in Mbeere North saw their peers being killed, whether they can go and elect somebody who has been brought by the person who ordered the killing of children, I will be very surprised here in Mbeere North. I will be shocked. I will not understand the people of Mbeere. I would live here in shock.
It was UDA's Leo Wamuthende who carried the day, trouncing his closest challenger with a 494 vote margin. Wamuthende beginning his first day as an elected member of parliament on a tour of the Embu Level 5 hospital where he visited victims of the violent election.
Rigathi Gachagua na timu yake walikuwa wanajipiga kifua, wanajigamba ati ya kwamba wako na kura ya mlima katika mfuko yao. Watu ya mlima wameongea kupitia watu ya Mbeere North ya kwamba Rigathi Gachagua anaota ndoto mchana.
Nataka kuambia wakazi wa Mbeere North, mimi ni member of parliament, ni mbunge wa watu wote, wakazi wote wa Mbeere North. Walionichagua na wale hata wakunichagua. Maendeleo nitapeleka kila mahali.
Meanwhile, former DP Rigathi Gachagua has begun the process of picking up the pieces, taking to his social media accounts to congratulate the 3 MCAs who were elected on his party ticket. Gachagua also comforted those who came close to winning in the parliamentary contest. The Mbeere North loss for Gachagua will likely affect the trajectory of Mount Kenya politics as unemboldened President William Ruto trashes Gachagua's Mount Kenya kingpin tag as he continues with his 2027 re-election campaign. Emmanuel Tor, Citizen TV, Embu County.
Leaders in the united opposition have come out guns blazing, accusing the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission of turning a blind eye as electoral malpractices dominated Thursday's by-elections. Led by Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, the leaders dismissed the results announced in Malava and Mbeere constituencies as sham outcomes, claiming violence, voter intimidation and ballot stuffing were used to deny their candidates victory. Kamau Mwangi with more.
With the dust settling on the hotly contested by-elections after a grueling campaign period, the opposition now says the reality of Thursday's results point to a bungled process from start to finish.
Yenye watu ya Malava mkianguja seti Panyako mimi nitaenda wapi? Mimi nitaambia watu nini? Huyu seti akianguka mkutano ya kwanza Ruto atafika Kakamega. Moja kusema hii kelele ya tawe ni kelele tu kelele.
Natembeya, who spearheaded DAPK candidate Seth Panyako's campaigns in Malava, accuses the electoral body of, quote, intentionally looking away as what he calls government-backed candidates rigged their way into parliament.
Because what happened in Malava was not an election. It was a criminal activity. Yeah, right from campaigning, where goons were deployed. Some of us, our security was removed. I'm sure you also witnessed voters being bribed while they were queuing.
He says the government had tightened its chokehold on the electoral body, warning that the united opposition will not, in his words, ever again complain about rigging come 2027, insisting the people's will not be subverted.
Naamini kabisa ndani ya roho yao kwamba hizo kura tulizishinda. Hata angalia takwimu zenu za mwanzo, setu za mwanzo, Panyako alikuwa 70%, huyu mwenzake alikuwa 27%. How this thing ilikuja kafika mali kakuwa reserved by reverse by kuja kuwa draw, mimi sielewi.
If that is why there was all that drama here in Western. Yes, 2027 will come, but let them be informed that Kenya is not Tanzania.
Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Fred Matiang'i also alleged widespread intimidation in opposition strongholds, urging the IEBC and investigative agencies to bring perpetrators to book. Similar accusations came from DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua, who applauded voters in Narok Township, Kariobangi North and Kisa wards for, as he put it, standing up to intimidation, goons, state-sponsored militia and violent police attacks to elect his party's candidates. Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
Orange Democratic Party officials took to the streets to celebrate victory in 3 of the parliamentary seats held in Thursday's by-election. Party chairperson Gladys Wanga and Deputy Party leader Abdul Swamad Nasir exuded confidence that the Orange Party remains a formidable force and called for party unity in the run-up to the 2027 general election. Stephen Leto reports.
The Orange Democratic Movement Party bagged all its 3 parliamentary seats in the just concluded by-election. Breathing new energy to a party that recently lost its party leader Raila Odinga. In Homa Bay County, party chairperson Gladys Wanga led supporters in Oyugi's town alongside other members of parliament in thanking Kasipul electorate for electing party candidate Boyd Were as their new legislator. The ODM leaders in Homa Bay affirmed that the party will remain united and called on those who want to leave the party to rethink their stance.
Shows that the ODM party remains strong, remains resilient, remains ready. And for those who wrote off ODM because of the passing of Baba, I think they have now seen for themselves. It is also a very big honor to our departed party leader.
Other than the Kasipul and Ugunja parliamentary seats, ODM retained its Magarini parliamentary seat in Kilifi County. Party officials led by ODM Deputy Party Leader and Mombasa Governor Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir made victory laps in Magarini and Malindi constituencies, boasting that the coastal region remains an ODM bedrock.
Kuna wengine unajua wanajisema kwa wao wanasikiza ground. Mimi nawaambia hii alama ukifanya namna hii, huku kwetu tunasema sikio linauma. Na wale ambao kwamba ni matabibu walisema sikio likiuma dawa yake ni chungwa. Kwa hivyo katika kila maeneo ambayo kwamba masikio inauma, tunaambia tunawaletea machungwa wapate vitamini. Tuna dawa.
Lakini hapa alipokuja Kilifi alikuwa masikio ya magonjwa ametiwa pamba, hakusikiza ground. Akaanza kubabaika, Mungaro amekutana na hawa, Mungaro amefanya hivi. Wacha nimwambie yule jamaa wa DCP Rigathi Gachagua, huu wembe wa kombe safari hii, wembe ni ule 2027.
Mheshimiwa Gavana, 22 kwa hawa vijana bwana, si kitu kwako. Nataka niwashukuru sana kwa ushirikiano wenu, kwa kura zenu, kwa kura za amani, na Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Winners of the just concluded by-election will be sworn in as MPs next week. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV, Baringo County.
The ruling UDA party suffered setbacks in several ward by-elections, with former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's party clinching 3 seats, including in regions traditionally considered government strongholds. Victories in Narok Town, Kisa Ward and Kariobangi North signalled heightened political competition ahead of the 2027 general election. And while UDA still secured a number of key wards, the by-election served as a crucial litmus test of the party's strength and the political mood in the country. Citizen TV's Ben Kirui breaks it down.
Even in areas considered strongholds of the ruling party, voters appeared unmoved by traditional loyalties, signaling a shift in political winds. In the Chwele Kabuchai ward by-election, a perceived Ford Kenya stronghold, the party suffered a major setback. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, a high-profile political figure and voter in the area, saw his party's candidate Vincent Wekesa Maunda trail far behind. Independent candidate Eric Wekesa secured a decisive victory, amassing 6,162 votes compared to Maunda's 2,765.
Nimesema, for Bungoma to grow, Ford Kenya must Ford Kenya must Weta must.
Let us change our politics. And Chwele has started. Nyinyi msibaki nyuma. Wametuonyesha njia. Wale waheshimiwa wa MCA ambao wamekuja Chwele kukampeni ni wenzangu saa hizi. Msome kitu. Say the writing is on the wall.
Ya watu wa Chwele Kabuchai kuwekea Papa wa Roma indicator. Hiyo ni indicator. Na kama Papa wa Roma ni dereva wa gari alienda driving school, amejua nini kinaendelea.
In the neighboring Kakamega County, DCP Deputy Party Leader Cleophas Malala led the young party to a statement win. Candidate Aduda Okwiri clinched victory, narrowly triumphing against MDG's Joel Ongoro. UDA had thrown its support behind Ongoro. The Narok Town ward by-election gave DCP another foothold ahead of the 2022 general elections. Douglas Masikonde beat UDA's Kanyinke Ole Kudate in an election marred by violence and malpractice. In Nairobi's Kariobangi North Ward, DCP's David Wanyoike Waroi emerged victorious, defeating independent candidate John Kimanzi, while UDA placed third. In Ukambani, the Mumbuni by-election had Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka facing off with Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua. Anthony Chalo Kisoi of Wiper Patriotic Front emerging victorious from a crowded field of 11 candidates. The ruling UDA party was also shut out of 3 ward by-elections in Nyamira County, where opposition candidates swept to victory. In Kerenyo ward, Jeremiah Ongaro of the United Progressive Alliance Party beat UDA's Francis Amenya. In Nyamaiya ward, UPA's Christopher Usiemo beat UDA's Thomas Nyandieka. The by-elections were widely viewed as a high-stakes contest, pitting President William Ruto against Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Dr. Fred Matiang'i. The ruling party clinched seats in Purko ward in Kajiado, where Mpusia Emos got 2,805 votes against the DCP's Simon Sanare Saidimo, who got 1,522, and in Chemundu Kamgetunyi ward in Nandi, where Vincent Kiplimo won. UDA also prevailed in Angata Nanyoike ward in Samburu, Lake Zone and Nanam in Turkana, and Chewani in Tana River County. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Election Observation Group ELOG has highlighted security lapses as an impediment to elections, pointing at rising cases of hooliganism during elections, which in turn affect turnout during polls. In a preliminary report on Thursday's by-elections, ELOG has, however, given the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, a clean bill of health on how it conducted the by-election across 24 areas on Thursday. Crispin Otieno with a report.
On Thursday, just hours after the kickoff of the mini polls in various areas, cases of violence and disorder were evident in a considerable number of polling centers, especially in hotly contested seats. Former CS and Attorney General Justice Muturi getting physical over presence of a pro-government MCA at a polling station in Beere. The situation was similarly tense in Kasipol. At Agorosare Primary School, there was a tense standoff between MP-elect Boyd Were's supporters and Philip Aroko, an independent candidate. Chaos and running battles also rocked Kabuchai, Malava, Beere North, Narok Town in Narok, and Nyamira, as well as Magarini. In the first elections run by the current IEBC, violence became one of the more dominant factors. The Election Observation Group ELOG laid the blame for the Thursday chaos on the Interior Ministry's doorstep, warning of an escalation of violence in 2027 if proper action is not taken to avert it.
ELOG also urges the National Police Service to also expediently investigate the very blatant cases of electoral violence and breaches which disrupted the electoral processes yesterday.
ELOG, however, gave IEBC a clean bill of health for conducting a credible mini poll.
Overall, 93.4% of polling stations were rated as having good or very good conduct, while 6.6% were rated as bad or very bad, pointing to localized and significant administrative gap.
And ELOG will publish the results projection in the final by-election report.
But we have talked about the incident of super agents or political actors who are present all over the places, with very many of them carrying young people who have been called goons in other spaces.
ELOG calls upon IEBC to provide timely information on the progress of the electoral process during election day. ELOG's previous by-election stressed on the importance of reining in super agents who are mostly politicians. The Commission should also intensify targeted voter education and polling station identification. Parties must adhere to the Code of Conduct and take responsibility for conduct of their agents and supporters. ELOG urged the National Police Service to expediently investigate the very blatant cases of electoral violence and breaches. Crispino, TNO Citizen TV.
Time for us to take our very first break right here on Friday night. Remember, lots more coming your way in just a bit. Don't go far. Under pressure, Tanzania's government seeks EU audience a day after European Union MPs suspended 156 million euros in aid. Details after the break. Welcome back. President William Ruto has launched the Rironi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Road project that is set to revolutionize transport between Nairobi, Rift Valley and Western Kenya. The 170 billion shilling investment is also expected to boost regional trade by easing the connection between Kenya and other East African countries. According to the head of state, this is a pivotal part of his administration's plan to address the historical infrastructural gaps. Safina Chiang'oma witnessed this historic launch in Kamandura and filed the following report.
Every once in a while, this has been the situation along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. Many have termed it a highway of agony, where hundreds of motorists are forced to endure hours-long traffic snarl-ups every so often. Speaking in Kamandura, Kiambu County, during the launch of the Rironi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Road project, President William Ruto promised a new dawn in decongesting the busy transport corridor.
Today, we say no more. With modern engineering, innovation, and accountability, this road will cut travel times, reduce accidents, and save lives.
The road will start as a dual 4-lane carriageway to Naivasha, then expand into a dual 6-lane expressway from Naivasha to Nakuru, built to accommodate the increasing traffic along the northern corridor stretch. Movement through the busy Nakuru town will also be improved through a raised modern highway that creates a safer and faster route for long-distance travelers. From Nakuru, the road will connect as a dual 4-lane carriageway to Mau Summit. The 175-kilometer stretch will be fitted with 3 toll stations to help manage traffic and support long-term maintenance.
Miezi 6 hii barabara itakuwa tumemaliza kutoka Kamandura mpaka imefika wapi? Imefika Gilgil. Kwa sababu nimekubaliana na hawa wangwana. 2027 siku ya madaraka tarehe 1 mwezi wa 6. Mimi nakuja kufungua hii barabara ikiwa imekamilika. Nyinyi mnanielewa?
The initiative will also involve the upgrading of the 58-kilometer Rironi-Mai-Mahiu-Naivasha road to handle increased cargo volumes, linking seamlessly to the Naivasha Inland Container Depot in what the president says will boost economic growth by opening Kenya up to other East African countries.
The work we begin today will echo far beyond our borders, reshaping trade, expanding prosperity, and elevating lives across our country and our region.
The 170 million shillings private-public partnership project will be implemented by the China Road and Bridge Corporation in collaboration with the National Social Security Fund Board of Trustees. It is part of a wider strategy by President Ruto's administration to address the historical infrastructural gaps through construction of mega road projects across the country. In the meantime, the Motorists Association of Kenya has filed a petition in court seeking to challenge the tolling of the Rironi-Mau Summit Highway. The petitioners argue that the move will amount to double taxation of motorists since the public road was already built and is maintained using taxpayers' money. The case will be mentioned on the 5th of December 2025. Safina Chiang'oma, Citizen TV.
Tanzania's Foreign Affairs Minister Mahmoud Kombo has urged the European Parliament to consider Tanzania's position on key issues as part of efforts to strengthen diplomatic ties. His remarks follow the European Parliament's resolution recommending the suspension of development funding to Tanzania, citing concerns over unrest during last month's general election. Marianne Nyambura tells us more.
The European Parliament's vote to block funding to Tanzania has sparked concern across the country. The move follows allegations of human rights violations linked to the disputed October 29th general election. The vote was passed on Thursday, potentially blocking the disbursement of 156 million euros, about 23.3 billion Kenyan shillings, under the 2025 Action Plan.
Colleagues, if we truly stand for democracy and human rights, we cannot stop at words. Let us use every tool at our disposal to hold those in power accountable, Tomorrow, this House will send an unmistakable message. All EU funds channeled through state-controlled entities must be frozen immediately. The European Union must not use its fund to subsidize oppression. The time to act is now. All political prisoners must be released immediately and with no conditions.
On Friday, Tanzania's Foreign Affairs Minister Mahmoud Kombo met with members of the diplomatic corps, stating that the government has been closely monitoring the European Parliament's resolutions. In a press statement, Tanzania's ambassador in Brussels has been instructed to continue diplomatic consultations with EU with the aim of reinforcing cooperation. Tanzania's government argues that the EU should listen to the aggrieved party. Tanzania stating there are misleading claims being spread to suggest that the government will collapse due to the suspension of aid funds. Tanzania also admits that EU's decision will affect the entire system, including private sectors in Tanzania and Europe, international organizations, and ultimately the citizens who are meant to benefit from the planned projects. For now, the Tanzanian government maintains that diplomatic engagement will continue, with a focus on protecting the interests of its citizens and strengthening ties with the European Union. Marian Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Bradley Omondi from Kakamega County is the Week 3 winner of the Rubani Challenge on Shabiki.com, bagging 500,000 shillings. Omondi was treated to a special paragliding experience in Naivasha by Shabiki.com to celebrate his win in style.
Bradley Omondi's 500,000 shilling win in the Rubani Challenge on Shabiki.com opened the door to a lifetime experience as he took to the skies in a thrilling paragliding adventure in Naivasha, courtesy of Shabiki.com.
Leo naweza sema experience yangu imekuwa very interesting, imekuwa fun sana. It was something sikuwa nime-expect, ni kitu sijaifanya before. Yeah, niko hapa leo venye maybe dream ilikuwa kukuwa pilot ukiwa myang. Leo nimefly leo na nimefurahia sana, courtesy of Shabiki hapa.
Omondi, a sales agent, says he took on the Rubani Challenge for fun and never expected it to become his financial turning point after his Rubani stake hit the highest multiplier for Week 3. And given his love for airborne games on Shabiki.com, the paragliding treat was a perfect match for his passion.
Of course ni mingi because ni kitu yenye like hauko ume-expect, ni kitu hujawahi kufollow, so like ikikuja of course like ni injection nyingine iko poa sana kwa finance yangu like yeah. Na hii pesa nilikuwa nafikiria maybe kwanza maybe business, but I think itanifaa kwa kufanya farming sana huko home. Yeah.
The 24-year-old says he plans to venture into agriculture in his rural home in Kakamega, noting that farming is attracting the youth as it is economically viable. Steve Shitera, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Congratulations, Bradley. We are going to be taking a very short break, after which we'll be back with all the day's business. Stay with Friday Night. National carrier issues profit warning for the full year on account of grounding of a third of its wide-body fleet.
Welcome to the Mangu Gardens Open Weekend on the 29th and the 30th of November 2025.
Mangu Gardens boasts premium serviced eighth and quarter-acre plots located off exit 16 of the Thika Superhighway. You will enjoy graded roads, a perimeter wall with a gatehouse, power and water on site. You get to select your preferred house typology from available options. Plot prices start from 4.5 million shillings. Titles are ready and financing is available from HFC. Text Mangu to 21938 or call us on 0793 888 833.
Come, find out more at the Open Weekend.
Moisture in your skin helps it repair itself constantly. Without the right balance of moisture, chances of skin problems can occur. Vaseline locks in moisture to give your skin a natural glow and protection. Use Vaseline because it is the first step to maintaining natural, healthy-looking skin.
On Saturday, December 6, all roads lead to the Great Chepsaita Cross-Country Run, the run for education. This isn't just a race, it's a celebration of endurance, community, and opportunity. We run to support education and open doors for young learners, so lace up, show up, and run for the cause. Join us in Chepsaita, where champions are made.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
I knew that whatever happened was something that I could explain. In fact, I thought I was going to explain, but then the whole thing just went south, and I just got drowned in it. And whatever happened then happened. But resilience, that one I should thank God.
Watch this story and more. Download the Citizen Digital app or visit www.citizendigital.com and find the Citizen Originals portal.
Kenya's #1 app, Citizen Digital.
Dad, tap on Jumia app, order what you want, add to cart.
Punguza bei, weka simu ya 15,000.
Confirm. Plus, tunaweza rudisha within 7 days.
Kumbe ni rahisi hivyo.
Ai, ni Jumia bro.
Download Jumia app today.
Why do 7 out of 10 kids have cavities, sir? Because whatever this toothpaste has for cavity protection isn't enough. Double Herbal contains clove. My mother says it contains eugenol, which is 100% effective in cavity protection. Where there's clove, there's no cavity.
Get your value pack today.
Teke na Wigo Boda. Chanua Jam, fika on time at the lowest charges in town. Wear helmet and ride in style. Ni safi, ni safe, na ni easy kwa mfuko yako. Wigo, your trusted ride. Download the app now. Ama SMS Wigo to 20425. You'll fike right on time. Wigo, your trusted ride.
Welcome to Boma Mabati Factory, the winners of 2025 roofing solutions. All our products come with warranty and are kept certified. Be part of our many satisfied customers by visiting us to enjoy great discounts. Boma Mabati Factory, Mabati Poa, near Boma.
Join our generous
General Overseer Bishop Dr. Mark Karaoke, and all apostolic bishops for a grand celebration like no other. From 2nd to 5th December at the ASK Grounds, Nairobi, experience 4 days of power-packed ministry with Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Joe Imakando, Dr. David Ireland, as we thank God for 55 glorious years. All are welcome.
Experience Swiss-based education in the heart of Nairobi. With practical hands-on skills, we prepare you for the dynamic world of culinary art and patisserie or international hospitality management. Travel the world and gain global work experience through our international placement network as you shape your career as the next global future leader in hospitality. Welcome to the Boma International Hospitality College. January intake ongoing.
It's big, it's better, it's the November prize crush only on Citizen Duka. Usipate stress ya shopping this November. Citizen Duka itakupanga. Fanya shopping yako hii November kupitia Citizen Duka ndio uweze experience our November prize crush on different items of your choice. Every shilling saved counts only on Citizen Duka, your home of discounts.
Citizen Duka, the home of discounts.
Kango ni miti. Ile miti ngumu sana ilikuwa inapatikana hapa nyingi. This family ndio wamefanya hii kijiji naonekana kijiji kabisa.
Jaramogi was a polygamous. He had 4 wives.
Kenyans, we lived with a human spirit, not a common human being.
Personally, I didn't know that he could go before me. I knew Jacob was going to die, but not this time. And even that he could go before me. My thinking was that I'll die and Jacob will take care of my funeral.
I want to name Raila something which cannot be cooked and eaten by human beings.
Watch this story and more. Download the Citizen Digital app or visit www.citizendigital.com and find the Citizen Originals portal.
Kenya's #1 app, Citizen Digital.
Haina haja ya kuvumilia ifikie nilikwambia utaona alafu uje uone.
I will not rest until I make your life miserable.
Welcome neighbors Kikwetu to your home this year. Tunasherekea customers wetu Kikwetu kila siku.
Business News brought to you by Emirates.
The best holiday ever's finally over.
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Business Now, Kenya Airways has issued a full-year profit warning pointing to a sharp decline in earnings. The airline says the grounding of 3 Dreamliners, which is about a third of its wide-body fleet, has significantly reduced capacity and passenger numbers, weighing in on overall performance. The grounding, KQ says, was as a result of a global shortage of spare parts, which has disrupted its operations. The cautionary statement indicates profits are set to fall by at least 25% or roughly 1.35 billion shillings. This comes just a year after the airline returned to profitability, ending 11 consecutive years of losses. In 2024, the airline transported 5.2 million passengers and moved more than 70,000 tons of cargo. Kenya's push to strengthen its position as East Africa's trade hub took center stage as Equity Group CEO Dr. James Mwangi called for urgent reforms to unlock stronger regional capital flows. Speaking at the Equity Kenya Trade Mission Forum in Nairobi with more than 300 participants attending, Dr. Mwangi noted that while investor interest is rising, capital remains cautious due to regulatory uncertainties and costly cross-border logistics. He said stronger government-private sector commitments are needed to make Kenya a dependable gateway for regional trade and investment.
Private sector looks upon reliability and dependability of policy and consistency of policy. So the biggest ingredient in creating an enabling environment is policy stability. The second one, of course, is an enabling environment in peace and having institutional support system such that the ecosystem is working.
There are huge opportunities here in Kenya. There are huge opportunities for partnerships for overseas countries, particularly Commonwealth countries. And likewise, I've seen a lot of Kenya companies who are looking to export in the region and wider than the region.
As IFC, we are always in this kind of forum because our role is to connect all of these, I would say, communities so that we can help our countries develop, grow and prosper.
Safaricom is turning to the capital markets to tame its skyrocketing energy bill and reduce its heavy dependence on the national grid, citing reliability challenges. The company has issued the largest green bond in the country's history, aiming to modernize thousands of its base stations with more reliable power and refinance its debt. Here now is Jasmine Wamboi with the details.
Safaricom has traditionally depended on the national grid for electricity. The company spends about 5 billion shillings every month on its power bill. This cost is one of its biggest operational pressures. And it now appears that the hefty bill, coupled with the unreliability often associated with the national grid, have seemingly pushed the telco to accelerate a nationwide shift to solar-powered base stations to stabilize the network and reduce interruptions.
It's very important for us to have the sustainable energy because you are in the service of providing connectivity to everybody in the country. So any disruption in the energy, any disruption in the power availability in our base stations or any other networks that we provide creates a lot of issues.
Base stations, commonly referred to as boosters, are some of Safaricom's most power-hungry assets. The effort to shift this to solar power began in 2022, with 310 sites located in areas that were off the national grid and entirely relied on diesel generators. To date, Safaricom has transitioned 1,500 of its 7,000 base stations to solar power. The move has helped cut down connectivity outages.
So it's just not about the cost, but of course it does help cost, but I think it's more about the reliability.
And reliability is critical, especially as the telco moves to establish a larger footprint of data centers in the country at a time the government has struggled to bring on more power sources into the grid.
Data center is a big investment, but within that, power infrastructure actually is one of the biggest costs. But how do you ensure that the energy that it consumes, these are modern, what you're investing is really ensured that it has the most efficient energy.
To fund this transition, Safaricom has issued the largest ever green bond, priced at 10.4%, a rate lower than recent government and corporate issuances. Beyond the modernization of its base stations, proceeds from the issuance will also go towards refinancing of its existing liabilities. The company insists the bond is strictly for its Kenyan operations and is unrelated to its Ethiopian venture. Jasmine Wamboi, Citizen TV.
Business News, brought to you by Emirates.
The best holiday ever's finally over.
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Time for All the Day Sports with Emmanuel.
Yeah, good evening, Lilian. We have a lot to get into after the break, including freestyle football and some motorsports in the World Rally Championship. So make sure you don't miss out in just a few minutes.
Boresha mazao ya shamba lako na mbolea ya mavuno. Mchanganyiko wetu speshali wenye virutubishi 12 muhimu unaongeza rutuba ya mchanga, hurekebisha asidi na kusawazisha pH kwa mazao yenye afya. Tofauti na mbolea nyingine zinazochoma udongo wako, mavuno inafanya kazi na mchanga wako kudumu kwa muda mrefu na kwenye hali zote za hewa. Ili kupata mavuno mengi, chagua Mavuno. Imethibitishwa kuongeza mavuno kwa zaidi ya 30% wakati wa mvua fupi.
Wase, mko ready to flip that trend script? With Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company KMRC, your rent can now build your own keja. Get a home loan with a fixed single-digit rate chini ya 10% and repay pole pole for up to 25 years. No more landlord stress, just peace of mind kwa nyumba yako. KMRC home loans are available at leading banks and SACCOs countrywide. Jijenge na KMRC, rent yako, keja yako. Make your rent work for you.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Why do 7 out of 10 kids have cavities, sir? Because whatever this toothpaste has for cavity protection, isn't enough. Double Herbal contains clove. My mother says it contains eugenol, which is 100% effective in cavity protection. Where there's clove, there's no cavity.
Get your value pack today.
If anything is wrong, but just wait. 'Cause the light has come.
This Christmas, let Comrades Medicare bring care and comfort right to your doorstep. We offer 24/7 ambulance services, ensuring help is always just a call away. Need medical tools? We've got you covered with medical equipment for sale or hire. Reliable, affordable, and ready when you need them. Enjoy peace of mind with our home-based care services so you can celebrate the holidays together without the worry.
Venus unveils confidence that captivates with 5 times more hydration. Venus, inspired by nature, perfected by science.
Life is living with confidence, knowing that your money is working just as hard as you do. Life is also about living with courage to chase the dreams you've always longed for. There's living, and there's living free.
Live free as your money works for you with Jubilee FIDA Elite Insurance Plan. Invest smartly and earn competitive returns with a life cover of up to 1 million Kenya shillings. Start today with as low as 5,000 Kenya shillings and enjoy peace of mind. SMS FIDA to 24464. Jubilee Life Insurance. Live free.
Life's too short to just be living.
Dad, tap on Jumia app, order what you want, add to cart.
Punguza bei, weka simu ya 15,000.
Confirm. Plus, tunaweza rudisha within 7 days.
Kumbe ni rahisi hivyo.
Ai, ni Jumia bro.
Download Jumia app today.
Wezesha biashara na Absa One account. Sort biz yako with an SME loan. Download the Absa Kenya app. Open an Absa One biashara account with 0 monthly fees. Absa, your story matters.
It's big, bigger than you can imagine. It's massive. It's the biggest jackpot. Shabiki Super Jackpot Sahini 100 million. Yes, predict 17 games na 99 bob na ujishikie 100 million. Bonuses ni from 13th correct prediction. Na ukipata zote wrong, usiwori, bado kuna bonus. Hii ndio jackpot. Shabiki Super Jackpot is now at 100 million. To play, download app ya Shabiki on Play Store or SMS SJP to 29063.
Gaming is addictive. Play responsibly. Not for persons under the age of 18. Shabiki.com is authorized and regulated by BCLB. License number BK 0001080.
Mohamed Salah is an Egyptian professional footballer who plays as a right winger or forward for Premier League club Liverpool and captains the Egypt national team.
The family meets for AFCON 2025. To book your seat, dial star 423# to get or stay connected to DSTV Access or GoTV Value live on Supersport.
Masaa ni ya Safaricom na Shangwe A25. Kila wakati unatumia M-Pesa, ni nafasi moja ya kuingia kwa draw ya kuwa mshindi. Tumia M-Pesa popote ulipo. Lipa na pochi, send money au buy goods or pay bill, upate nafasi ya kuwa mshindi wa milioni 1. Msee, hata kubuy bundles, minutes au kurenew home fiber inaongezea entries kwa draw. Hii ndo sasa form ya kushinda milioni na Shangwe A25. Ukitumia Safaricom unapata nafasi ya kuwa mshindi. The more entries unapata ukitumia any M-Pesa, kutuma au kulipa, unaongeza nafasi ya kuwa mshindi wa daily prizes, free bundles, free minutes au free M-Pesa, au kuwa mmoja wa washindi 25 wa milioni 1. Tumia Safaricom tusherehekee pamoja. Shangwe 25 popote ulipo.
Ulihisi aje wakati ulipigiwa simu ukaambiwa ati wewe sasa ndio unapewa ganji?
Nilisikia mzuri sana.
Ulikuwa unatarajia kupokea hiyo simu?
Hata sikuwa natarajia. Hii mchezo ni ya ukweli. Sio mchezo. Ni ya ukweli.
Si ndio?
Nimeona hivyo.
Asante sana. Asante kwa kujipanga na view sasa. And asante kukua kwa mmoja wa washindi wetu wa 50,000.
Welcome back to the program. My name is Emmanuel Ndungu. Let's get into the sports news now. Nairobi United, or NIBOS, have called all football fans to the Kasarani Stadium for Sunday's match against Maniema Union from DR Congo in the CAF Confederations Cup Group B match. NIBOS got a rude welcome to the CAF Champions League, losing 3-0 away to Wydad Casablanca in Morocco. Their opponents, Maniema, got a good start to the competition, winning 2-0 against Azam of Tanzania at home. Assistant coach Salim Ali says Sunday's opponents are a different kettle of fish, having played in the CAF Champions League before. He adds that they learned a few lessons in Morocco, including playing simple football, being professional and having tactical discipline. This is a must-win for NIBOS if they are to stay in touch with the group leaders in the competition.
So itakuwa a tough challenge kwanza kwa sababu ukiangalia standings ya group I think hao ndo na second kwa sababu walifungaza mtuni So tuko na a big task mbele yetu kwa sababu it's a must win kwanza kwa sababu tuko home.
In more sports, defending champion Austin Minor retained the National Predator Freestyle Football Championship after an exciting finals duel against a determined Oliver Raya. The two emerged the best from a group of 17 male freestylers who made it to the National Championship held at the National Archives in Nairobi on Friday afternoon. After the preliminaries in the opening stage of the competition, 8 bowlers made it to the quarterfinals, then the hardest stage, the semi-finals that were hotly contested. Awad Abdul was eliminated in the semi-finals but redeemed himself to finish third. On the women's side, defending champion Hazel Selassie had a double celebration, retaining her title on her birthday. She beat Gormahia Queens midfielder Rayo Kamanda to the title, with Anna Carroll finishing third. 22 freestylers took part in the final, organised by Predator Energy and the World Freestyle Football Association. This was a qualifier for the WFFA Championships.
It was difficult, we have best freestylers like Oliver. He was like, oh, amazing lowers. But about training every day, that's why I retained my title.
Too much pressure, honestly. It was too much pressure. I got a bit nervous. It got the best of me. I just managed to try and stay calm, and I'm glad it has worked out. But yeah, I can say not my best performance, but I'm glad that I was able to be there.
We've had double the number of participants we had last year. We had road shows and exciting engagements on the streets with the fans. A lot of fans showed up, and we've been able to crown the second winners of the championship. So very exciting and beautiful day for us.
Moving on, an estimated 30 fencers from East Africa will converge in Nairobi for the first ever East African Championships Fencing League on Saturday and Sunday. The two-day championship has attracted fencers from Rwanda, Uganda and Kenya. The championship hopes to attract the best fencers in the region to compete against each other as they prepare for various championships across the world. According to Mburu Wanyoike, a coach and fencer with 12 years experience, the competition is a fusion of different backgrounds and cultures as the participants learn to fence from each other. The past few events have attracted impressive crowds that push the players to give their best. The preliminary rounds will take place on Saturday, while Sunday will be the knockout stage from the quarterfinals to the finals. After this championship, there will be 9 more next year, all of them in Nairobi.
Fencing pia is the new game. Si game kila mtu anacheza hapa Kenya, si game too simple, haichokeshi sana. It's the easiest game na tena inasaidia unalenga vitu zingine, vitu kama drugs, hizo that may come from bad backgrounds.
This one being my first champions to participate in. I'm ready, but na feel ni kama bado kuna ako kwa uoga, but I assure you I'm ready for it, and it's amazing. It's gonna be great.
Not so many fencers are able to actually participate in that huge level of maybe World Championship, the African Championship. So we decided we are going to create something that at the end of the day, all fencers who are selected to that level, they can be able now to participate in the East African Champions Fencing League.
More sports. The 2025 NCBA Golf Series Grand Finale teed off on Friday at the Par 72 Muthaga Golf Club. This was the culmination of the 5th edition of the series. 250 golfers converged, with 90 of those coming from the qualifiers held in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Rwanda, competing for the series' top honours in the overall, men's, ladies and junior categories. The overall men's and ladies winner will each pocket 130,000 shillings. Since the series teed off in January at the Kenya Railway Golf Club, more than 5,102 golfers have participated in the 40 tournaments. This is the 3rd time Muthaga is hosting the grand finale since its inception in 2021.
The course is playing quite tough. The greens are true. We're enjoying ourselves and it's a great tournament. pretty much NCB has done a very good job in sponsorship of golf in this country.
We are looking to award about 10 of those players at the end of today. With such grand prizes that we recognize the golf. I must say, when we started this tournament 5 years ago, the scores that were being recorded were fairly poor, and in fact we struggled.
Now onto some international motorsports. Hyundai's Adrian Formeau tops the leaderboard at Rally Saudi Arabia today, with the world title race finally balanced. The Frenchman leads Latvia's Martin Sess by just 2.4 seconds, with Belgian Thierry Neuville only another 3.4 seconds back in his Hyundai. In the race for the title, leader Elfyn Evans sits in 8th place, while France's Sébastien Ogier, who started the rally just 3 points behind Evans, is 6th. As it stands, Ogier will be crowned world champion tomorrow. Championship leader and Toyota Gazoo's Elfyn Evans suffered a major setback when he stopped after 3 kilometers of stage 11 to change a rear left puncture. Toyota's Kalle Rovanperä also carried a slow puncture on the same test, with his slim chances of becoming world champion swiftly receding. Let's have a look. And that wasn't all for international sports today, as Oscar Piastri from McLaren claimed sprint pole at the Qatar Grand Prix. George Russell finished 2nd, with Lando Norris in 3rd, and Max Verstappen, title protagonist, in 6th after a troubled qualifying. But that's all for the sports that we have for you today.
Thanks so much for watching. That's all the time we had on Friday night, and it's always a pleasure, as always. My name is Lilian Muli. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Thank you. Goodbye.